G'day, recording this video on Saturday, the 6th of May 2023, just gone 9:29 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend and time for another weekend futures market recap where I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. And it's been a great week this week. We're still kind of up looking for that breakout. The Fed kind of came in with a 25 basis points raise of rates midweek, and we've had a V reversal effectively this week. So I'm going to show you that on the Emini chart in a minute. But before getting to the charts, just to say two things. First of all, I'm recording this video on Saturday. That means I'm going to release it kind of very first thing on Sunday morning, and maybe that'll help a few more people, particularly in kind of the European time zones, to get to see it on this Sunday rather than waiting for Monday morning. And the second thing to say is I'm going to be using, after I've recorded this, an AI program to edit the video and just let it run and do its thing. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, whether it's going to be good or bad. But if this video kind of sounds and looks a little bit different than previous videos, that is what is going on. I'm trying to reduce the time it takes me to get a video out and minimize the amount of hand editing that I have to do. And let's see if AI can help in that process. So there we go, two announcements. Let's get to the Emini charts. First, daily all the way down to the tip bar charts. So here we go, daily chart, and I'll show you better sine wave. The reason why we have held in this uptrend, the background is in red, so we know we're in a confirmed uptrend, because in terms of price and volume, both of them are showing uptrends. We've had a little bit of weakness after the strong close on Friday, and support on the daily chart has come in with a pullback level there printed after Friday's trade. So last Friday we closed the market pretty strong. I was thinking, we're going to get the break Monday, Tuesday, kind of above that 42 magic kind of level, 4,200 level, and kind of really get this thing going. We're going to sell off a little bit, and it turns out we did sell off a little bit after the Fed announcement, but we've held at kind of the 40-50 level, and we bounced from there. So it means we're back up, kind of nudging up to this 4,200 and a bit level to see if we kind of break out. So it's getting there. When the better sine wave lines start to go parallel like this, that means that the market is starting to trend. So on the highest time frame here, we've been playing around with this cyclical resistance for so long. At some point, the market says, or better sine wave says, look, this is not going to turn into a normal cyclical play from resistance down to support. We're turning into a trend, and we bust above here into a strong trend. So, it's kind of counterintuitive given the news and the banking crisis that effectively we're in at the moment that the Fed has created, but the market is itching to break above that 2200 level and kind of break places. But I've been saying that for 2 weeks. Let's see if we get the break this week. The 135-minute chart, so exactly 3 135-minute bars in a day session of the E-mini. Still in an uptrend. The background is red, which means we're in an uptrend in terms of price and volume. We had exhaustion by getting the move going from these highs down here. A little bearish divergence, a flush pattern. Nothing much in terms of catching this move down here other than the cyclical support there that we saw on the daily chart, and we're kind of back up. There's nothing to suggest that we're maxing out in terms of exhaustion, amateur up bars, blue professional bars taking profits or so on, so nothing I can see there. 45-minute chart, there's that support kind of coming. On the 45-minute chart, it was nice with blue professional bars kind of down here, held support at 40.80, and we've kind of bounced back up. And the 15-minute chart, there we go. So the end of last week, we ended up kind of super strong, ended up with an exhaustion buy and bearish divergence pattern on Monday, and we kind of sold off. And then we had the volatility that we normally get around a Fed announcement here. A lot of amateur bars playing at that point because the average trade size during a Fed announcement is super low, and the market's just goes a little bit wild during that end of the day session. But we'd had support come in with an exhaustion pattern, blue professional bars here. That didn't hold. They sold down that level with a blue professional bar kind of crashing through down here, and then they held it again. A bullish divergence comes in right on the zero line. So that ain't great. We've got to see probably a flush pattern. So maybe we'll have a little bit of a sell-off at some point Monday, Tuesday into a flush pattern, and then from there it'll be hopefully another level higher than we've reached at the moment, and then that'll propel us through 4,200. So on better sine wave here, little end of trend on the 15-minute chart. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a weakness on Monday until the intermediate time frame comes in and holds us at some point. and then we can move up from there. I don't know, we've got to keep that level that we've got to come in has got to be above this resistance on the intermediate time frame. So maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe we've got to keep on going through this level and then come back to put in that pullback in an uptrend on the intermediate time frame here. But on the highest time frame, you can see here we're in an uptrend. Support is in. These two lines, the thick lines, have crossed a while ago, and they've got to go up and hit 100 and start to cross before the cyclical activity on this move starts to wane. And then we go down to the 13,500 tip bar chart. There we go. There's all the amateur bars around the Fed announcement here. There's a Rambo pattern at those highs. We kind of sell off here. Blue professional bars coming at the end of the day on Thursday, and overnight, bang, we had that lovely move. Breakout starts into a confirmed uptrend. The background is in red. Blue professional bars buying this breakout, exhaustion buy, getting this move going. So we're above all three resistances on this time frame. So we're breaking up on the 13,500 tip bar chart, and it did generate a really nice signal end of Thursday on the triple signal indicators to show this uptrend. So that is the E-mini all the way down from the daily chart to the tip bar charts. Let me just show you the NASDAQ futures chart here, because we talked about this the other day. And for whatever reason, TradeStation's kind of redrawn this chart. It's still a triple resistance, but it's happened a little bit differently. And I'm not sure why that is, whether there was a data error in TradeStation with the original chart that was drawn, or that we've had rollover in the meantime, and so the concatenation of the different futures data has changed things a little bit. But for whatever reason, this chart is different than the one I showed you kind of 4 weeks ago. But we are now showing a triple resistance on the daily chart here, where the triple resistance levels are super tight together. So SR1, 2, and 3 is support resistance, low, intermediate, and highest time frame. And we've got 13,000, so 314, 349, 370. They are all just right there going on. Two end of trends, one on the highest and one on the lowest time frame there. Two end of trends that you can see there, but we've got a triple kind of going on. Let's wait and see. It is amateur bars here, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. We keep on pushing up and up. So I'm expecting the breakout to happen at that point, and that's not enough of a signal particularly to kind of turn it around. And I'm hoping that the momentum will just all of a sudden just turn positive as people realize that we're breaking up through 13,500. And just like we have here a sell-off type of reading or a negative reading on better momentum, and as soon as everybody joins in, your momentum goes really positive. So it's a little bit negative at the moment. Maybe if everybody joins in Monday, Tuesday above 13,500, this thing really gets going. So I think it's going to be a breakout above these highs into a strong uptrend. So let's just wait and see. It's going to be interesting Sunday, Monday. Okay, so let's go to the tip bar charts and have a look at the better indicators and see if we got any triple signals. So let's look at the Forex charts first, and this is the Euro. Euro is a little bit choppy at the moment. We're going around from 111 and a bit down to 109, 110 and a bit here, and it's just winging backwards and forwards. The beginnings and the ends of weeks are marked by these solid vertical yellow lines, and last weekend I was short Euro. I got out of that and went long based on this signal at the beginning of the week, and I'm long again into the Euro at the end of this week, although it's not signaled on this particular chart, the 1500. It has signaled on the 500 tip bar chart. A lot of blue professional bars up at the highs here. They were here and kind of spiked higher and then kind of collapsed. So let's see. The reason why I'm still long is we've not had exhaustion buy on the Euro. So up at these highs, you don't see a blue professional dot. There's one back here, but there's not one above here. There's not one up here. There was kind of selling off at this point and flush patterns going on. So I'm expecting this to continue and test up above 111. And that would kind of fit with move up in equities potentially. So the other Forex currencies are actually pretty strong. We've got the British pound here. I warned you last week, all these blue professional bars, that was not a good sign. And as soon as the week started, we had a signal short and it sold off. But we got held here at 24.5 on the British pound. We've started to rally from there. A little bit of almost a flash crash type activity here on the British pound, but we've continued higher. Exhaustion by bearish divergence, but no blue professional bars at those highs. So British pound is still strong. Aussie dollar is also very strong, and I'm going to show you this on the daily chart because we didn't have a signal down at the bottom here. This has continued to power up and up. So that's kind of keeping going on the Aussie dollar and the Japanese yen. We've had some fabulous signals here. Last week we were short Japanese yen because of these signals, bang, bang, bang. The low this week was held. Look at all these blue professional bars coming at the lows, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, oversold, with the background in red, and then we got our triple signal, bang, we've rallied from there. No professional bars at the highs up here, so the trend move isn't over. It's just a question of where to catch it and get back in on the rally in Japanese yen. So then the E-mini, this is the signal that I was talking about this week. At the beginning of the week, last week we had this low at 40.80 was caught, signals go long. Beginning of the week, signal to go short, and then we crash down to 40.80 again and get another signal to go long at that point. E-mini is signaling long at the moment. Bonds, though, having rallied strongly during the week, they've come off here. This is kind of almost like a flash crash type activity going on here where the market really gets whacked around. Very big move there over a short period of time. No signals this week on 10-year notes. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Not too happy with the signals here on gold and silver. We had a nice one this week into this rally, and then we had this extraordinary activity here. Again, it's almost like a flash crash in reverse for gold here at this point here. We must have trips and stops, and this thing just kind of flew to the upside at that point. And then blue professional bars kind of come in at 2070 and we sell off at that point. So gold not looking very strong. Silver, there's that pattern again where all those blue professional bars come in and it crashes down. We've come back up to test into that level, and then blue professional bars have come in and sold it down. So we're under the lip at this point here. So I wonder if silver is going to continue down. And then Bitcoin, a little bit of a late signal here, but we're sitting underneath all of those blue professional bars just at 30,000. We kind of take off to the upside, come back into that level, can't make it through and down again. So hold on, my charts have just frozen momentarily. There we go. Sometimes that happens. This little screen size increase button kind of goes away. So gold and silver and Bitcoin have been rallying hard over the last several weeks because people are, it's a flight to safety effectively. People are worried about the banking system, but we've certainly come off in the last couple of days. And instead what we have is the ags taking off and then crude. I'm not sure about copper, so let's look at that chart here. Here's crude. This is an ugly chart because better indicators cannot find this low. We keep on coming down and down. 78, 76, we try to hold it at this point, we come back down. 74, we try and hold it, and then the blue professional bars this week sell it down through that level here. Bang, 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 bang. And then we get the flash crash down to 64 in crude, and then we rally from there, and we get some triple signals here. But this isn't great, kind of showing these levels. We just can't catch a break at this point, and finally they hold and rally. I'll show you that on the daily chart in a second. Natural gas, still trying to rally. We had signals last week, kind of got into exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, come back down again. No signals yet. And copper. Yeah, copper. So last week that was a nice signal. Blue professional bars take profits at $4 and we come back down again. So let's see, blue professional bars buying through that breakout. Let's see if that continues up to test $4 on copper. But the ags this week were kind of the standouts. We had signals a couple of weeks ago short. They've been basing and bottoming. We had an early signal here before having a nasty correction here. Blue professional bars step in right there on that test, and then we've rallied from there. So corn is up, and soybeans signal this week. Exhaustion bar, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence. Blue professional bars come in, we're oversold, and we start to rally. So soybeans looking good, and wheat. Nice signal down here at the lows. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, flush, flush. Blue professional bars come in, they buy it, races away. And again, I'll show you that on the daily chart. See that little kind of screen shrink icon has just disappeared for whatever reason. So I'm sure what's going on there, TradeStation. Glitchy. Anyway, let's look at a couple of those on the long term, the daily charts here, because they're starting to show some areas of important support. So I call them daily charts, but this is a 367-minute chart of corn, exactly 367-minute bars in a day session of corn. And we've come back down here. It's an important level. We're testing that. We tested that a few months ago. We're testing again. So let's see if that holds. So that's on corn. Soybeans, again, testing into these levels. That's a nicer looking chart. All the blue professional bars come in here. We come back down. Sign of strength comes in with the arrow, and we've rallied from there. And then wheat. We tried to, I talked about this a couple of months ago, we tried to hold at that point and we couldn't get anywhere. We've come back again at 600 to try and hold it here, blue professional bars. So let's see if this is the level kind of down here that wheat holds, and we start to rally from there. Crude, when we had that flash crash this week, it hit an important support down here at 64. So all those blue professional bars had come in, we'd rallied from there, came all the way back to test into that zone, and it's held. And now this is looking like a U-turn where the professionals buy it on the way down and then force it up on the way up here out of this kind of U-turn area. So crude looking strong. The other one I wanted to show you was Aussie dollar on this long-term chart. It's taken a while, being basing around 66, 67 for a while, but we've got those blue professional bars where we tested the highs and lows of that area, and then here we've got sign of strength. We've broken back up into an uptrend in the Aussie dollar, so that could be interesting for a longer term move. So there we go. It's been an interesting week. I'm still expecting a breakout to the upside above 4,200, but that's testing my patience. So let's see if we get it this week. Hope your trading is going well. I'm looking forward to Sunday night and Monday morning.